Hello my beautiful people, welcome to your life path reading for September 2021 with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. So a quick note about these readings, the way that they're structured. I put out my first set of these last month and I realized that everybody kind of got lost in the melee. So let me explain to you how they're going to go. The first part of this video is going to be a general overview because we're looking at the universal month that all of us are existing under. Don't skip this because it's going to provide you an important context of how this fits into your personal life path reading, and more importantly, how this energy is going to affect you. And then I will go into what kind of energies and themes you can expect specifically for your life path number. So this first part in the beginning, yes, it's going to be the same for all videos, but you need to watch this because it's going to provide you that important backdrop to the entire painting of your life, let's say. All right, so this month, September, is a universal month 5, right? So 5 is fast, it's dynamic, it's passionate, it's very avant-garde in a lot of ways, and it's very much about being present. It's about being here in the now. It's about being embodied in your physical self, living through the senses, through what you can see, through what you can touch, through what you can taste, hear, smell, right? So this is a great month to stimulate and nourish your soul through your senses, whether that's eating good food, having good sex, buying yourself a really wonderful set of bed sheets that just feel so comfortable and zhuzhy, whether this is buying yourself an amazing glass of wine or a dress or a pair of trousers that fit really well. This is a very embodied energy. It's a very physical, a very sensual nature and sensual energy. Now, the number 5, when we talk about sensual, yes, it can be sensuality, sexuality, all of that. But when we talk about sensual, we're talking about the 5 senses of the body. Anything that stimulates those, anything that nourishes your soul through those energies is going to be highly favored for you and highly sought after by a lot of people this month. So I've got my trusty notes here as well. This is the number of energy, passion, vibrancy. It's also the number of travel. It's the number of freedom and liberation, right? So these are all things that people are going to be a lot more interested in this month, which makes total sense to me. What I will say as well, we might see this or talks about these kinds of things on the wider world situation. So we might see people, maybe the people are demanding more freedom, or maybe a revision of the rules, or, different ideas or ways of doing things when it comes to those things. I also feel like as well, we're going to see some sort of development in the travel world. I've been talking about this a lot this year in general, and not just because of the pandemic, but because of the way that things are moving in general. So that being said, 5 is also very technical, right? It's dynamic, it's advancing, it's liberating, it's confrontational and even competitive. So you might find that these are energies that you come up against in the world in some way, shape or form. You might find that the way that people approach things are more competitive than usual. Even people that you kind of know aren't really that way inclined will have that kind of edge to them where they want to get ahead, they want to push ahead, they want to bring things, maybe new things into the fore. So I diverge from the usual planetary associations to the number 5. So a lot of people postulate that it's not, but for me 5 is very mercurial and very Uranian. A lot of people postulate that the number 4 is Uranus ruled, and that doesn't sit right with me. And the beauty of these systems is you can change and adapt them to the ways that they speak to you. 5 is technical, it's advancing, it's freedom loving, it's liberation, it's travel and movement. Those sound like Mercury and Uranus to me. They don't sound like Saturn. They don't sound like, anyway, that's a debate for a whole other day. But that being said, those for me are the ruling planetary energies for this number. Now, This month is definitely going to pack a bit more of a punch. Why? 2021 itself is a 5-year. This month is a universal month 5. So we're all under this double hit of this 5 energy. So this energy of competition, this energy of needing to get ahead, this energy of being physically stimulated in some way, shape or form is going to be really heightened. You might find that the anxiety, if you suffer from anxiety, I know I do, if you have that kind of thing this month, you might find that it's kind of through the roof. You might find that it's more pervasive than usual, and if that is the case, I invite you to do something physical, do something with your body, jump, dance, right? Go running, go to the gym, have sex with your partner, have sex with a random stranger if you want to. Yeah, I don't condone promiscuity, but you get my point. This is all about utilizing your body and letting your body lead the way. It's not so much about sitting down and planning. All of that was last month with the 4 energy. We're in a 5 month now. This is about doing. It's about action. It's about movement and passion and desire. Now, I will say to you as well, if you've got something to start this month, I would say that it's actually kind of highly favored or blessed. There's a feeling this month that even though it is the 5 energy, which isn't necessarily known for sticking around or sticking to things, there's a sense that the way that this month combines with the overall energy of the year, if you start something this month, it has a lot more oomph, it has a lot more chance of success. And I believe that's because we've got the sun in Virgo this month. We've also got, mostly in Virgo this month, we've also got Mercury in his home sign where he's happy, but then he's going to dip into Libra. So he's going from a sign where he's exalted and then moving into a sign that he actually does well in because it's a fellow air sign. So in a lot of ways, and yes, Mercury is going to go retrograde this month, but in a lot of ways I actually feel like this is quite a beneficial month for starting new projects, certainly ones that you want to start with a bang so that you can, you know, make as much headway as possible. The way that I'm seeing this in my mind, it's kind of like, you know, the swimmers, when they get to the end and they flip over and they kick off of the thing, like the more kick you get from that wall, the less energy you kind of waste swimming, right? And then once you feel yourself slowing down, then you can get into it. It kind of feels like that to me. So this is a month, like I said, for action, interact rather than plan. What I will say as well, speaking of doing, get physical. Dance, jump, run, skip, you know, like I said, all of those things. It is an energy to liberate yourself in some way, shape or form. So if there's something or someone or a connection of some sort that's been bogging you down, this month it will feel even more stifling, and this can create that kind of, you know what, I'm out, right? So just be aware that this energy is floating around so that you can find a way to manage it. Now, this is also a number that makes people a lot more passionate and a lot more vocal. It also sees people wanting more fun, right? So if you see people being more hedonistic than usual, it wouldn't surprise me at all, actually. So just be aware that that might be an energy around. Characteristics of this number: powerful, vibrant, energetic, sexual, sensual, and materially charged, right? So if you find that, you know, you yourself want to consume more, find a way to do that and the reason being is, it's like, give me sensation. And if you don't give me sensation, I will find everything to fill that need for sensation, and I will grab it and I will hold on to it. And so I invite you this month, if you feel yourself feeling like, I've got to spend money, or I've got to do this, I've got to do that, feed your soul with something sensual, with this, you know, with your hands. It doesn't just have to be, because 5 is the number of sex, drugs and rock and roll, as they say. And it doesn't have to be those things, although it can be very escapist, and when it runs away with itself, it can really run away with itself. So this is why I say, be in your body and feed it and nourish it through the senses this month, and that will tap you into this energy and have you using it right. All right, so what else have I got here? Things that you need to look at. Are your plans too rigid? Do they need to evolve? Are you living your life to the fullest? Are you really sucking the marrow out of the bones, as it were? That is 5 energy. It lives to be bold, to be dynamic, but to connect to everything and anyone properly, right? To be present in the physical self, to be present in the moment is a very 5 energy. Live, laugh, have sex, eat good food. One thing that I will say with 5 energy as well, connect to as many different people as you possibly can, whether this is people overseas, whether it's from people from different backgrounds, different religions, different everything. The more stimulus you have that is different from your everyday routine, the better. And this month, create new routines. If you know something is outdated, outmoded, or just outworn, get rid of it. All right, that really is the best way for you to get ahead this month. What I like to say to people as well, easy ways to utilize this energy: cook from a different continent every other day. You know, one day you're cooking Chinese, the next you're cooking South African, then Greek, Italian. Like, literally just switch it up and keep switching it up. That will help alleviate some of this, restless tension, as will the physical stuff, right? So get doing something. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Stick around for your personal life path reading and we will get into it. Take care and I'll see you in a moment. Hello, you wonderful Life Path 22 person. Welcome to your September reading. So this month is really highlighting to you what you need to be prepared to let go of, what you need to be prepared to release, what it is that you really, in a lot of ways, what you're clearing out to make room for new blessings, right? This is the month where you are really being asked to relinquish something, to let something go. That's the energy of the month that you're being provided with. It also gives you a need and a desire to get rid of things that are superfluous or things that are no longer doing what they say on the tin. Now, things that do what they say on the tin are very important to you as a Life Path 22, because out of all of the 3 master numbers, yours is the most grounded, the most practical, the one that is most comfortable being human, quite frankly, and living on this earthly plane. And as such, like, this is what makes you such an amazing master manifester. As such, this month, when you're getting rid of what is superfluous, what's no longer resonating, what feels like it's just taking up time and space, this is going to be really important for you, because what you're doing is clearing your life out so that you can start welcoming something new in. That's very, very important. Now, when we let go of things, as I put here in my trusty notes, when we let go of things and we remove items from our lives, we create space for all things that we desire to come into our lives. So completions, endings, culminations, and preparations are literally for the next level of stuff, the next level of self, the next iteration of who you're going to be. Now, you will find this month, you'll be a bit more woo-woo. You'll probably feel a lot more emotional. And, out of all of the master numbers, it's not that 22 isn't emotional. It's more a case of you have an ability to move that to the side to do what needs to be done. 11, all up in the fields. 33, all up in the fields, but not you guys. This month, you will be all up in the fields, and you will just know, like, the emotional highs and lows of this month are going to be quite evident for you. And because it's not an energy that you are necessarily used to or accustomed to, you might feel like you're maybe a little bit out of sorts or maybe acting a bit more erratic. It's not a bad thing. I actually think in a way, this could really not only humanize you, but I think it could really help people understand that, you're just human, right? Which is, it's never a bad thing. Now, this sense of wanting to connect to others deeply is going to be, pervasive throughout this whole year for you. And one of the ways that this could show up, you could be drawn to any and all humanitarian efforts. You could be drawn to anything that really helps other people or serves other people in some way, shape or form. You could be drawn to charitable giving. You could be drawn to fundraisers. You might find that you're naturally pulled towards anything that has a charitable or even hospitable nature to it. You might find as well that you want to do something or to set something up this month that sees you being a part of something that assists other people in an ongoing fashion. It's a good time to start something new. So it's not a good time, this isn't a good month for you to start something new. So give it some thought before if you're going to embark on something completely new. So when it comes to love this month, for those of you that are partnered or in relationships, your heart is literally wide open, right? You are raw and exposed, but you are also warm and loving and kind and approachable. And that's not to say that you're not usually, but you guys tend to be more the, just get on with it types. And so to suddenly find yourself being slower and more caring and warmer and a bit more fuzzy and a bit more woo-woo, talking about stuff that's a bit more grounded, that's a bit less grounded, that's a bit less practical, will really, people might be like, oh, okay, okay. I think it will be really well received. Whatever and whoever makes you feel the deepest is where your attention will be this month. So for those of you that are cross watchers, if you're cross watching this for a Life Path 22, this month you need to love on them, right? This month you need to be aware of what they want, what they need. If you're a Life Path 22 person, this is going to be a bit of a raw month for you, because like I said, you're a bit more raw, you're a bit more exposed in your internal side, and there is an element of, and when I say desperation, it's not like, oh my gosh, I need to be loved. It's not that, but there's a desperate need to connect this month, and anything or anyone that doesn't fulfill that, you're going to be very, very vocal about. So if you're watching this as a cross watcher, no matter how tough your Life Path 22 person is, love on them, right? Connect to them. For those of you that are single, it's the people that are kind, it's the people that are connective, the people that are caring, the people that care deeply for causes that have nothing to do with themselves, the people that care for others that really that draw your attention. Kindness and altruism are so fucking sexy anyway, but they're going to be even more sexy to you. So you're looking for those kinds of people this month. You will be ready to invite more of that energy in, no matter how fleeting it might be, because remember, like we're talking about a month, so it's only a month's worth of energy. But if you're single, get out into groups, go to invites, show up at get-togethers, especially where people are coming together to assist others. Could be great for you. So when it comes to your money, your finances and your materials this month, this energy is more about what you give than what you get, and you will probably feel and see that this month. You could be extra generous. You may even be feeling more responsible for others financially. There could be a new responsibility that is placed on you this month. It's likely not to last. It might literally just be something like in the family that shows up this month, where you have to pay in to support somebody, or something comes up and you're like, you know what, I've got this, I can cover it, it's fine. In some regard, it could be a strain in the future months, but certainly for this month, you've got it to give. So just keep that in mind. Animals, home, children might end up costing you a little bit more than usual this month, so just be prepared. The universe will definitely provide for you to cover it, but just know that there might be a few added expenses this month. When it comes to your work, excuse me, you might need to consider some of the greater reasons for the results that you're getting at work this month. Where have you made a rod for your own back, right? So where have you been too giving? Where have you been overextending? Where are you, you know, just biting your tongue. It's very hard to consider a life path 22 doing that, to be honest with you. You know I love you, but still, yeah, you might just find like this month that you're like, hang on a sec, the reason this crap, you know, keeps happening is because I've allowed it to. And this month you're going to be very sort of like, okay, that needs to end now. You know, especially if you're given to the point of exhaustion. So it could be a month for you to take charge, but you'll need to manage your emotions a lot this month. If you're looking for work or you're retired, what do you believe would be fulfilling about how you can incorporate your altruistic nature into your work more? So where is it that you can bring more of what you want to see in the world into the work that you do? Very important. You know, how can you bring more of that energy for the charity and assistance for others into the world? So your best steps this month: get out into nature, which is always my answer. Learn to say no and draw some very firm boundaries, which is important. I mean, being a 22, you kind of understand that anyway, but be honest about how you feel about everything. This is really important. The more honest and open you are with your emotions this month, the better you will be, the better life will be, the easier it will be for you actually. And that's an interesting juxtaposition, because I know for a lot of you, that energy of being open emotionally doesn't come easily for you. And so having to, you know, being told that that's what's gonna, you know, make things easier for you is kind of like, oh, okay, this is, do you know what I mean? So just consider that that's about. And then finally, settle old bills, debts, issues, scores, bury the hatchet, and live in and through forgiveness. Your warnings for this month are being overly cautious or overly giving can be damaging to the soul this month. You're a little bit more fragile than you're used to, so be really good to yourself, look after yourself a lot this month. You're having to really protect your heart and your emotions because they're so open and vulnerable this month. You're also having to self-regulate. You really got to check in with your emotions and how you feel. And this month you might realize that you do have limits and you are already at them. Now, yours is the energy of discovering how to break the limit, right? How to go beyond the limit. This month you might realize that you've got limits to what you can do and what you can give, and that you've reached that point, which is actually very healthy and very human. Your new moon message is the gate 40 and solitude. So if you feel to withdraw, to spend some time alone, to get back to nature, to whatever it is that's going to help you refresh and recharge, do so. Very important. And then for your full moon message is the gate 44 and scenting. That full moon at the end of the month, that powerful Pisces full moon, is going to highlight to you what the next steps are, but more importantly, it will see you becoming acutely aware of something new that has been developing for a while that you probably didn't see up until this point. And when that time comes, the people that you know will support you in that endeavor are going to be more important than ever. Right, so really interesting message. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic month. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.